All right, family. You live with the general, man. We black. We got some fire today. You know we do now. You know we do. We're going to be talking about the African god El, the real God of Israel. I got to change that up there. I don't know, okay, but that's okay. Matter of fact, that's right. The God of the real God of Israel. We in the house. Let me see if I can do it right here. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Might as well try to do it. I don't think it's gonna let me because I'm in the act of doing it. I'm in the act of doing it. Okay, so let's get into it, family. Now we're showing and proving. We're showing and proving that what we call the Israelites, the peoples of the Bible, that they have taken from Africa, have given nothing back. They ain't got nothing to give. Ain't got nothing to give. Black power out there, family. And that this God El that you find, wait a minute, in the name of Israel, which is nothing but Isis, Ra, and El, where you get Elohim, huh? Elohim. Yeah, that's right. Elder, you in the house, you already know. You dropping elite, elevate, huh? Emmanuel, which is the name of the Messiah, huh? Gabriel, Michael, Bethel, all of these L's. And so El was the supreme deity of the Canaanites family. Matter of fact, let's jump right on in. We ain't gonna hold it up. Before we get started, now I want to make sure y'all get on over there to Patreon. I do. I want you to get on over there. Where my flyer at? I had my flyer up here for a minute. There you go, right there. I just seen myself go past it. Right there. Let me get it up here. Let me get it in the house, y'all. I'm in the house, y'all. All right. Over 600 exclusive videos. The link is right there at the top of the chat. All you had to do is click it and you can get on over there and get started popping off with all that knowledge, family. Let's jump right off into it now. The god El of the Canaanites. Let me get over here. Let me get this out of the way. Let me get over here. Okay, here we go. Trip me out. When I started doing my research, I knew it was over with. You see, you looking at variations of the god El that come up out of the land of Canaan today that you call Israel. Okay, and now as soon as I seen it, I said, "Well, what the hell? These is African gods. These are renditions of Amen and Osiris, Asa. Okay, and how do I know that? Because I'm looking at the crowns on their head. And it's clearly that's the eighth crown. What is the eighth crown? Let me show you. Can I show you? How I sound out there? Give me a mic check, y'all. Everything sound righteous? If everything righteous, say black power. Put a black power or something. Put a black fist up in there. Let me know the mic sound nice. Okay? So you look right there. You see Osiris. You see, okay, we in the house. Okay, good. You see Osiris with the eighth crown, and that's God El. Ain't that's El. You can look it up right now, Black Power. You can look El right up in online right now. That's El. Okay. And you can see that they have borrowed from the Nile Valley. But this is the God of Israel. This is the God. See, I'm showing you in real time, family. Ain't no sense of playing no games. I'm showing you in real time that the God that the Israelites worship is a hidden African God. They keep talking about Yahweh and no, Elohim. Okay? That's who's the real God. Okay? And when you look and you could clearly see that El is a rendition of the Lord of the perfect black, the king of Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, but he wore the crown of Upper Egypt, which was the superior of the two lands. Upper Egypt was the superior because that's where they came from. Okay, that's where they came, and they moved down north, and so that's why the crown of Upper Egypt was the superior crown by far. Okay, and so here it is. I'm looking now. This is in Phoenicia. This is in Canaan. This is the god El, and one of them supposedly is Baal, Baal. But these is all renditions and variations of the African god Amen, Osiris, and it is the crown of Upper Egypt. Matter of fact, let me go on and put it in there so you can see it for yourself. You see it for yourself. That's the crown of Upper Egypt. Matter of fact, let me go on. They call it the white crown. You see, I think the god men may have it on, but you see, so that's clear. So when I talk about the Canaanites, and I tell you the Canaanites were the brothers of, it's a fact. It ain't just in the Bible. If you can read it in the Bible and then you can go to the material artifacts and back it up, then I'm showing you can't just go throwing the Bible away, because there is some facts in there that we need to get an understanding. Everybody not qualified to read it because they can't interpret it for you. Okay, but we're showing and proving that the god El, as depicted, not by the phony Israelite. No, sir. I'm not talking about them. They're gonna tell you anything. As depicted in the land of Canaan, that's been dug up in the land of Canaan, what he was depicted as by the people of ancient times. These were statues that were dug up out of the ground that prove who created the God and gave it to the world. And you didn't, and the swindlers have taken it and recreated it and done whatever they wanted to with it, but we have the facts and to make the correction. So El, Baal, and all the Phoenician Canaanite deities are rendered because they're African people. They're African people. And matter of fact, Egypt actually took over Canaan, not because because they had to, because at that time there was a lot of nations, that on the outside, like the Assyrians, and they were trying to conquer Canaan, and so Egypt took it over, and it became a part of the great Ethiopian Egyptian empire. It was already that anyway. It was always a brother, but they had to go in there physically and put some military in there to keep it safe. You had to protect it. You feel me? So when we talk about God El, and we just put in there, the elite, when you talk about now, what's crazy about, a lot of people don't know that Hail is also rooted in El. Now, when you understand El, to elevate, you talking about up. So we talking about the solar manifestation of God. You see, so when you talk about hell, a lot of people think it's under the earth. No, they hell is on earth. It ain't under the earth, it's on earth. They ass catching fire on earth, not under the earth. So the hell that they, is referring to solar. You see, that's their hell. They ain't got to go up under the ground. They're gonna burn on top of the ground. See, so people don't. We got to look at that. We got to look at that and make an understanding that El is also rooted in hell. Meaning the solar fire. Okay, that will come back and so that's gonna be their hell. That's gonna be their hell right here on earth. And so you see, right? You also see the Canaanite god El, and Baal in the smiting of the enemy. This was opposed that all pharaohs from Narma, and I don't have it on me right now. I could, but I'm not gonna go out to chase it. I'm not gonna go out to chase it right now and get. You can see all the pharaohs. You know, this means that you was a protector of the nation, that you would rise up and defend the nation, that the king, that the deity was a defender of the nation. Okay, so when they say God and God told the Israelites, don't take nothing from the Canaanites. Yet you took the name, you took the gods, you left the cities, the name Jerusalem, named after Jebus. Bethlehem was already a city of the Canaanites. You left the city, and you know why? You know why the so-called Israelites didn't change anything? Because they didn't have a language. They did not have a language of their own. They was in Egypt for 400 years. And when they came out and they went into Canaan, they adopted Canaanite. The so-called Hebrew language is the Canaanite language. Let's deal with that. All you had to do was go in the Bible and it says that, wait a minute. It's in Isaiah. I'm glad I got my phone with me right now. Let me come on in. Yeah, let me come in just a little bit so I can blow up just a little bit. Let the general blow up. Let me see if I can blow up a little bit. Well, I can't blow. I got to come all the way up. Let me see. Let me get it in here. The language of Canaan in Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. That's right. There you go. Isaiah. That's right. That's what exactly what Isaiah 19, y'all listening? Isaiah 19:18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. So it wasn't called Hebrew. It was called the language of Canaan. They did not have a language. Okay, so when you look at the Hebrew, and most scholars have already, that's easy. You can look that up. Came out of the Phoenician, and the Phoenicians are Canaanites. Okay, so we just wanted to be clear about that. And that's the reason why because they adopted their language. So they didn't have a language of their own to change it. They didn't have a language. They didn't have a written language. Moses was the first Hebrew that ever wrote a book. He was the first one that ever wrote. They didn't even have paper in a language until they come. And most of them hadn't been to no Egyptian universities or temples. You see, only Moses and I believe maybe according to the Bible, Joseph. That was it, and maybe Joseph's sons. But the rest of them was out there with them damn goats, and that's what they did. So we're showing and proving again that the God that in God wait a minute, Israel, okay. Let's show it again so you understand it. And I know it hurt. You see right there to the right, that's El. You can look it up on that was found in the land of today what they call Israel, which in the ancient times was Canaan, which is the brother of Egypt, which is the brother of Ethiopia. They found all of these statues was found in the land, in the soil. So these were the depictions of the god El to the ancient Canaanites or Phoenicians. Okay, so let's be clear about that. And you look at the crown on his head, that's an Egyptian crown. And one deity above deities, I believe Amen very well may have had. I don't know if Amen. I don't know if Amen had. I don't know if he wore the Atef crown. I don't know. I know variations of the Ptah, Osiris. They got a blend where the two deities blend together. But That is the crown that mostly is depicted upon the head of the great god Osiris, the Lord of the perfect black, right there. You see? So we showing you the gods that they equate El with. And you also see El in the smiting of the enemy with the crown of Upper Egypt, showing that he come from the interior of Africa. That was the crown of Upper Egypt, not even Lower Egypt. And shit, and Canaan was on the other side of Lower Egypt. So they respected the belief that our African people came from the beginnings of the Nile. So even the Phoenicians looked to Upper Egypt as the Holy Land. Do y'all hear what I'm telling you? You better wake up out there. And here's another one. Here's another depiction of the god El. And you can see him you can see him sitting on the throne. Who were the first kings that ever sat on the throne? Osiris. The pharaohs is the first king that ever sat on the throne. And that is the crown of Upper Egypt, no doubt about it. You could take it right here. Matter of fact, let me see if I could crop that. I don't want to do too much. Let me see if I can crop that. Let me see if I can crop that so I can drop it on there real quick. Okay. And we're going to drop it in. We're going to drop it like it's hot, y'all. There it is right there. There it is right there. So El, the God that's in that Elohim and El Shahada and all the other ones, and that's from the Nile Valley. They worship a hidden, the secret worship of the African gods, Osiris, Amen, in the so-called Israelite nation. Man, we waking them up today, family. Show and prove. Go do some research. Prove me wrong. I'm sick of y'all. Prove me wrong, family. I want y'all to get over to Patreon, click that link, support the general. I got so much over there. You understand what I'm saying? I got so much over there waiting on you. Don't hesitate. Click it today. We got also kingseti.com and General Etsy One Stop is there for your family. And I'll be right black. I'll be right black. Black power. The ball on the top of that crown. That's right. You see it. Go do your research.